Hey, fifth graders. Yep, it's Mrs. Groslin here. I am still alive and I should be back on Monday, hopefully. Just wanted to show you a little bit what you're going to do in math today. It's a little confusing and I think it'll make it a little easier on you and maybe a little easier on the sub if I explain it to you. First of all, the first thing that you've got to get done is you've got to finish your test. Some of you did not finish it yesterday and your sub has a list of the people who are going to work on their test. When you're done with your test, then you're welcome to do these mock questions. So it's kind of a challenge. Those of you doing the test are going to use the calculator, and when you're done with the test, you're going to put your calculator away because the rest of you are not going to be using a calculator on this challenge. It's all adding and subtracting decimals, and it's pretty easy. So you just need a piece of scratch paper and a pencil. All right, so here's the scenario. Sorry, opening up here. So if I connected this right, and I'm not confident about this at all, I've spent way too much time trying to connect it, but if I connected it right, you should each have your own file that looks like this. And here is the premise. One day you're out shopping with your best friend. The two of you are trying on some silly looking hats when all of a sudden you see a tiny note. The note says, "Dear mall patron, my name is Sally Shopper. I'm looking to give a $1 million prize to whoever can fulfill my shopping challenges. Complete the challenges, prove your worth, and you will be the winner. But watch out, I've left a bunch of these notes all over the mall, so you're not the only contestants. You decide to accept the challenge. Hopefully, you win." Now, very sadly, I do not have $1 million to give you, but I will give a prize to the first person who gets this done, and maybe a prize to the rest of you if you make it through them all. So this is actually an escape room, and I don't know if you've done an escape room with your family or not, but you have to solve riddles one by one before you move on. So here's what it looks like. If you go to each slide, here's the first slide, the first challenge. There is a question, and this is probably the hardest one on here, and I'm going to give you some hints here. It says, "I love hats, but all hats must have the right proportion of colors. If 0 3/10 of the hat is blue, 0 3/10 of the hat is pink, 0 1500ths of the hat is red, and 0 1500ths of the hat is green, what portion of the hat is yellow?" Okay, the answer is your first code. So you can use this slide to write your answers in there. You can actually type numbers in there if you want to, but this is not going to be where you actually put your real answer. There's hints that are hidden underneath here. Now, I don't know how well you can see what I have open here, but I'm not in the present mode. I'm in the edit mode, and you should be able to edit this. So if I drag this up like this, there's a hint, and here's the hint. Remember that all of the hats is 1.0. All the proportions must add up to one whole. So I'm going to move this back again, maybe. So remember how when we did fractions, we did 1/8 plus 3/8 is 4/8, and how much is left? You have another 4/8 that's left because you got to get to one whole. Same thing works with decimals. So when you add these all up, add them up, and then subtract them from one whole, and that would give you your answer here. Okay, and then you, let me show you what the Google form looks like. I am actually going to go back to Schoology, and I'm going to view this as somebody else. I'm just going to pick Max. I'm going to pick you, Max. Hope you're there. Hope you're feeling good. So when I tried doing this at home, I was able to open everything up except for these mock questions won't open for me. And I think they're not going to open up for me because I did it as an assignment and because I'm not logged in as Max. So I'm hoping that's what happens. If that doesn't work, here's the second try. That will open up to the mall slides. But everybody I know has an answer for them because I checked this out. So it takes a few minutes to load up, so don't let that be disturbing you. First thing you got to do is put your name in there. So Max, I'm just going to put Max B, okay? And then here is where you're going to record your answers. And it says it's a 3-digit code. So if I go back to that mall room, I'm not sure if I can navigate back there again. It said your code goes here, so there's 3 spots. The decimal is one of those spots. So let's say I thought it was 7.9, like I would fill it in there. This is not going to correct it for you, but if you go back to that form and I put in 7.9, and then I try to go on to number 2, look what happens. It says, sorry, try again. So that tells me that I got number 1 wrong, okay? If you get it right, it lights up green, and then you can go on to the next one. So that way you make it through if you get it all the way to the end, and then you'll be surprised at what happens when you get to number 10, I think. Okay? So let's review. You're not going to use a calculator. You're going to open your Google Slides. You're going to go through it challenge by challenge. Each challenge is a problem. There are 10 problems. It should take you less than a half an hour to do this. Solve each one. Again, if you get it wrong, you've got to go back and try it again. Okay, your teacher has the answer key. There's hints. Okay, and remember, you're going to record your answers on that Google form. Okay, when it says 3-digit code, the decimal counts as one of them. So it might be 6.2. That would be 3 digits. Okay, so the decimal counts as a digit. And hopefully you make it all the way through them all. If you have questions, I'm probably not going to be able to answer them. Again, try those 2 links. And good luck. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday.